Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Michelle Alexandria coming at you with a movie review. I want to try to get better about reviewing movies and TV and other things going forward. I've been a little lax last year in my reviewing, so I'm trying to get back on track to getting my annual 50 to 100 reviews in. So my first review of the brand new year is Replicas, starring Keanu Reeves. I was actually struggling to find something to watch yesterday, and struggling to find a reason to use my AMC A-list card, but Replicas was it. I walked in feeling a little underwhelmed. I didn't know much about it. I watched the trailer a while ago, and so I didn't really know anything about it. So now that I'm old and hit the wall with nothing but a downward trajectory to look forward to everything I'm encountering these days, reminds me how old I am. And one of those things is seeing old man Keanu Reeves ungracefully lumber through his latest sci-fi film, the surprisingly decent Replicas. Of course, he's been a Hollywood male star. He gets to do it with a woman who looks like she's half his age. It still doesn't have the fact that Keanu is 54 years old. I'm not one who obsesses over trailers or watches them right before I see a movie. I remember watching the trailer for Replicas about 5-8 months ago, but from what little I remember, it was very misleading. Granted, I could just watch it now so I can give a more accurate comment, but that'd be too easy. I'm lazy, people. Lazy! No, I remember the trailer being the typical mad scientist, crap goes wrong, things get scary, and let's get to the action kind of trailer. So standard by the numbers affair. If you walk into Replicas thinking that's what this movie is, then you would be sorely disappointed. It's actually a fairly cerebral film. As cerebral as a Keanu film can get, not counting the Matrix trilogy. There's very little action here, and when it comes, it felt really out of place and shoved in to add more drama than the film actually needed. In Replicas, Keanu is Dr. Will Foster, a neuroscientist who is trying to perfect a way to transfer a dead person's brain patterns into a robot. And of course it doesn't go well because once your mind is in somewhere it's not supposed to be, you're going to get scared and you're going to just kind of go crazy. And we're going to forget the whole ethical questions surrounding doing this procedure on people without their consent. That's barely touched in the movie. His wife Mona, played by Alice Eve, says, "Hey, is this ethical?" And Keanu's like, who cares? And then the movie never really touches on the subject again. But the movie does a nice job of quickly introducing us to his family, his wife, Mona, again played by Alice Eve, and 3 kids who I don't really care about, because the characters never really fleshed out, so why even bother mentioning them? So after a tragic car accident, Keanu gets the brilliant idea to use his technology to try and save his family. Turns out his company wasn't just working with robots. No. They were also doing cloning experiments. So he cloned his family and then implanted their consciousness into the cloned bodies. What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Surprisingly, nothing. A large chunk of the movie is spent with Will just watching the chamber where the clones are growing, and him trying to solve the issue of the consciousness rejecting whatever new body is placed in. The pseudoscience in this movie is kind of intriguing, and the solution ends up being overly simplistic but logical. I mean, I can't complain about how it resolved itself. I never once felt like the science couldn't be real and wouldn't work in the real world. Director Jeffrey, and I'm gonna butcher his last name, but Jeffrey Nachmanoff. You say it fast enough, people. You can fake your way through any name. He's best known for being a TV director, and he did stuff like the bad Angelina Jolie movie, The Tourist, and TV series like The Legend, and a movie with Don Cheadle called The Traitor. He does a nice job of building tension and creating an environment that didn't make me roll my eyes, surprisingly enough. But there was one moment in the movie that made me jump out of my seat, and I felt embarrassed because the people sitting next to me looked at me like I was crazy. But while I knew it was coming, it was still kind of gross. And it was gross in, if you see the movie, you know what scene I'm talking about. But it wasn't a bloody scene or anything. It was just a medical procedure that was just kind of, that just made me jump. That's all I'm saying. The movie keeps so basically the movie keeps teasing the eventual movie cliche scientific disaster that you just know is going to come, that you know once the brain is in these bodies, everyone's going to go nuts, but it actually never comes. And the action and stuff comes in the third act, but it's not actually because of the procedure, it's because they decided to have an evil, mustache twirling bad guy at the end of the movie, come in at the end of the movie, and it felt so out of place with what the rest of the movie was. And it's kind of a weird movie in the sense that you expect things to go horribly, horribly wrong, and for the movie to set up potential sequels, and it actually didn't do any of that. And I know a lot of people will be disappointed because of that, but I actually found it kind of refreshing that, it ended in I'm kind of spoiling a little bit here, but it ends in a pretty good place. After you get the really bad third act action sequences out of the way, I mean, it was actually pretty decent. And if you notice, I didn't mention the rest of the actors in the film at all, and that's because their roles were pretty inconsequential. He did have a best friend / co-worker that he worked with, but I forgot his name and don't really care about him. This movie is pretty much focused solely on Keanu. Everyone else is essentially window dressing. And I'm sorry I'm saying now. If you're desperate to see a movie in this very slow January movie month, Replicas is a pretty good choice. I liked it. I think this will be a good go-to movie for home viewing when it comes out on your cable TV and your digital. It's competent. It kept me wondering what's going to happen, and I didn't regret spending a couple of hours with it. So I think I would give this a final grade of a B-. It's worth watching, just not something you should run out to see, and you shouldn't pay full price for it. So anyway, that's my review of Replicas.